Time to take a look at what's making the news in the local papers near you. To look through them for us is Eamonn O'Neill, who is the managing editor of Eamonn Media.
I knew you wouldn't be able to keep your face
That's
straight.
why I had to write it down on the autocue, because I know you've got so many titles. I don't know what your current one is. Managing editor of Eamonn Media, or, quote, the boss.
And listen, if you don't mind, I want to talk about the Macclesfield Express first, because this is the paper that
Please do.
shows us, or reminds us, that it's 70 years to the day.
11:15 this morning.
Correct. If they hadn't heard back from Hitler by 11, they were all at war. But this Macclesfield Express harps back to the days of evacuation, because loads of kids from the city centre in Manchester, places like Gorton, East Manchester, did go to Macclesfield. It doesn't seem very far now, but it probably was in 1939. And there's some great memories of people who went that reasonably short distance, but a lifestyle.
Oh, completely different. I mean, going from inner city Salford to what was rural Cheshire.
Yeah, amazing. With sometimes into farmhouses and cottages with no electricity, no running water, no gas. And you did, actually work on the farm. Exciting at the same time as distressing, probably. But
paper was going in 39, actually. It wasn't called the Mac Express then.
No, you're right.
On the front page what it was called.
It was called the Courier and Herald.
Still going. So some of these local papers are really old, aren't they? They've been around a very long time.
And I learnt yesterday that the code word or the code phrase for evacuation that the Ministry of War gave it was Operation Pied Piper, which is something quite nice about that, isn't it?
It'd be appropriate, wouldn't it? Yeah, all these little kids with their little boxes and their gas masks.
Shall we move on to the Tameside?
Yeah, the Tameside Advertiser has got a nice story as well. Church is always having to raise money. Roofs are always collapsing. It's always a roof. And now there's a priest called Father Richard Lindsay, who's going to London, for some reason, to travel every single mile of the London Underground to try and raise some money towards the 20,000 quid he needs.
Take him a while to do that, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Well, apparently there's 270 stations.
Oh, you've got the statistics, have you? All right, then, how many miles of track?
Miles
it's about 4 miles.
Yeah.
4 miles in
Any idea?
Off the top of your head? I have absolutely no idea. I only ever went from here to Broadway to Oxford Street.
Is that what you're going
250 miles?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Which is the most used station across a year in terms of passengers?
Must be Oxford. It must be Oxford Circus.
It's Victoria.
I'd gone with Euston.
51 million people in a year on Victoria.
Which is the oldest line.
Oh,
Northern.
I'm sat with two geeks, aren't I?
I know, I've done some homework,
Two train
Also
spotters.
known as the misery line, for those that used to use it. It's much... But they keep extending the tube, don't they? They add bits to it. I mean, there's the bit that goes out towards the east.
Are you not interested in the tube?
Anyway,
Sorry.
lip gloss. No, not lip gloss
Amazing bit of Victorian
No.
engineering in its time, building the tubes in those days, weren't they? I mean,
And the shortest shaft ever driven in the tube. No, don't go there.
We'll stop. Anyway, good luck to him, and let's hope he raises a lot of money for that particular church.
Let's hope he does.
We've got quite an interesting story here, haven't we? The Stockport Express.
The Stockport Express one, yeah.
Bob the Builder becomes a builder.
Isn't it fantastic? Bob the Builder, and I don't know whether you know that it was all produced in Altrincham, actually.
Yeah.
The company was called Hit Productions. And there's a guy there, you've probably got a picture of him there, hopefully.
Yeah,
there he is.
we've got him
Simon.
up there.
Yeah, we've got Simon there. And Simon, who lives in Stockport, was one of the original builders of the sets for the animation. And, of course, television being what it is, you have to move around, you have to diversify, you have to help each other out. And as you know, we've all had a million jobs. He's actually become a builder.
So Bob the Builder...
Bob the Builder's builder.
He's a builder?
Yeah.
Bob the Builder's builder.
Don't book a house for him, though, because it'll only be about that big.
Yeah.
I'd like to build me a garage, it'd be about that high, wouldn't it?
Have I got time to tell you about Bethany?
Please tell me about Bethany, because it's been a very big week for lots of kids, my own included, because it's been GCSE results.
Oh, yeah. And I saw on Channel M the other day a fantastic story, Wright Robinson School. I think you were on holiday, Andy.
Yeah.
A girl called Passionate, who got 17 A stars in her GCSEs.
17?
17?
Ben Bland went down to meet her at Wright Robinson. 17
yes, he did.
A star.
Right.
Oh, what a great story. Well, Bethan hasn't got that many. She's got 8, I think. Yeah. 8 to C's. But the great story about Bethan is, during the preparation and the lead up to the GCSEs, unfortunately, she was diagnosed with leukemia. So this is a great story, not in terms of how the bulk, you have to carry them home in a wheelbarrow, but the fact that Bethan has got through such really difficult times with such great strength and determination. And I just wanted to mention it. If you're going to read that paper, you read the story in full, because you've got youngsters, and I have, and youngsters generally get such a bad press all the time.
All the time.
And in our weekly papers, in nearly every single weekly paper this week, there's some great stories about kids who've done
well.
Yeah.
And hats off to them. Exams are not getting any easier. If my kids are anything to go by, they work bloody hard, frankly. So hats off to you. Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eamonn.
Thank you very much, sir.